So you said whoever asked should pay. You said the man should pay. You said the man should pay, correct?
Yeah.
You said gender roles.
I said that it wouldn't
You
be
can
like the
see,
end
yeah,
of
both
it for me,
sides.
basically. I could see both
Shania,
sides.
you're whoever pays. You said the man. Okay.
I said the man, but I also don't mind paying.
Right.
You also don't have to break the bank on the first date too.
Yeah.
Just go to
Just
the
first
beach.
date, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I mean
And
for
do
first
fun things without having to go to dinner.
Yeah.
first dates, you should very low commitment, I reckon. But that's not, a lot of guys are not tuned into that, and sometimes they'll go a little overboard. So it's interesting. So you said whoever asks. You said the man should pay. You said the man should pay. But all three of you said you don't really care about the guy's money earlier on in the conversation. So how do you reconcile saying you don't care about the guy's money, but expecting the guy to pay for the first date?
Okay, well, the first date is kind of different than throughout an entire relationship. Like, you're asking me, like, long term, do I care about, like, him paying for everything or, like, making a certain amount of money? That's different than, like, okay, first date. Like, first date, if he's asking me on a date, which is, like you said, most women are not asking men on a date. So I'm assuming and I don't ask guys on dates. So if he's asking me, I'm assuming he's going to pay because he's inviting me to dinner. So that's kind of what you're saying is like they're different.
Like she wouldn't be going out there to that restaurant on her own and paying for that. So if someone's saying, hey, like I'm inviting you to come, then, and if they say like, I actually like don't have the means right now, like I feel like that's the individual situation where you can decide,
Yeah. And if he doesn't have the means to pay on the first date, then he probably shouldn't be in a relationship, I think.
He shouldn't be on a relationship if he doesn't
He should be focusing on himself.
So shouldn't we say the same thing about women who expect men to pay for first
yes,
dates?
Of course. I don't think women should use men to go dinner or
you
things
literally
like that.
just said that men should pay for the first date.
Yes, the first date if they're asking the woman to go on the date, yes.
Okay.
Which is how it always happens, right? Like women
typically,
usually
yeah.
are. Exactly.
Women don't ask for dates, but
exactly.
They do sometimes.
Well, yeah.
For sure.
sure, they
rare.
I don't think it's rare.
It's super
in
rare.
Heteronormative
I think it's more
relationships,
rare,
maybe
yeah.
it's more
in
rare.
Heteronormative,
like in
non-heteronormative relationships are rare too. I shouldn't say rare. They're not the norm. No, that's not the right wording. They're not. I don't know. What's the percentage breakdown of straight? It's what, 90%, 95%?
No, in Gen Z, 21% of Gen Z identifies as LGBTQ.
Yeah, I think it used to be 10%, like when I was growing up, at least. That's what
Okay,
the
well,
number was
who here's bi?
I mean, I guess. Yeah, I guess I'll.
What do you mean
you guess?
Yes.
I don't really care about talking about. I don't really care about putting like a word over like what I like or what I like to fuck or who I like to sleep with and make love to or whatever.
I kind of
Is
agree
that,
with
like,
that. It's like the least
pansexual?
interesting thing about you.
I feel like that's something that should like.
Yeah, like I mean, I've only dated men, but I would say that like if for some reason I happened to fall in love with a woman, like it wouldn't be, like I wouldn't ex-nay that because I'm straight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but so you're
that makes
saying
sense.
in lesbian relationships, obviously, a woman obviously has to ask a woman out.
Or sometimes like we have examples of women that like are interested, and like I've seen examples. I mean, maybe it's more rare, but every situation is so unique. Even if it's like the same sex or different sex, it's totally unique situations of how people end up having dinner together.
Yeah, but the exception doesn't make the rule. Generally speaking, I'd say overwhelmingly speaking, probably more than 95% of the time, the guy is asking the girl out. So, I mean, we could talk about the 5% where the women do ask a guy out, where they're, in addition to, a much greater likelihood of it being successful if a girl does ask a guy out. So, I mean, we can get into that, but it's just interesting to me, though. All of you said that you three said you don't care about a guy's money, yet you said whoever asked should pay, aka the man should pay. You said the man should pay. You said the man should pay on the first date. So how do you reconcile? And maybe you can weigh on this. I haven't heard from you.
About what?
You don't care about the guy's money, so why should the guy pay on the first date? You said gender roles, right?
I just feel like you want to take care of someone. You want to show them that you're like responsible, that you're like care enough to make her pay. Like, God, I guess you just.
Why can't you do that for the guy?
You can, but like.
But you don't want to.
Well.
You just said the man should pay.
I guess it's sort of like it is a gender role thing.
And I
It's
think
like
men
you
like
want to be
pay.
taken care of, you want to feel respected. It's like if it's a stigma, if the stigma around it is respect, then yeah, the man should pay because it's a respect thing. It's a oh you fuck with me thing. Oh, it's a I like you thing. But like if it's a stigma around it is like, I don't know. What do you guys think?
You can open that or leave it open.
Pardon?
Huh?
Okay.
What do
I
I think
got you.
about what?
Like the stigma around is paying equal to I respect you, that's the type of guy I am. How does that reflects, I guess, because of like we're talking about it right now, it's obviously a thing that people think about. It's reflectory of like whether or not what the guy likes you, whether or not he's respectful to you, whether or not he has BDE, whether or not he has what's the acronym, SPE, like is it SPE to not pay for the bitch? Like sorry,
Also,
but
Yes.
I feel like
penis energy.
when like I also feel bad if I'm trying to pay because I feel like it's like their masculinity and they like want to pay and they feel like oh like I'm supposed to pay type thing. And I feel like because like when I was with my boyfriend, you know, like if I paid for things he would be like I would obviously we'd pay for things, like I paid for a lot of things for him, but because I did make more money than him at the time. But literally, like, he would be, like, kind of insecure if I was paying for things. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of...
Because they feel like they have to, though, which is kind of sad.
I think too you shouldn't like for me personally at least I'll always offer because I don't go into a relationship with that expectation of somebody to take care of me. And like maybe that expectation is like exists in society, but I don't think everybody like goes into it with that intention.
I also feel like it's not that deep. Like just
Hold on.
pay and enjoy the rest of your night.